Ooh, you want a quick winner and loser presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. Not sponsored, but I'm just throwing it in there for funsies.
We still love them.
We still love them. You want a winner and loser? Because I have a big loser from this weekend.
Sure.
Curt Cignetti, big loser this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Ooh,
Guy was flying way too close to the sun this season. He was the darling, coach of the year everywhere, going out there on college game day. We don't just beat top 25 teams. We beat the shit out of them. No, sir, you do not. You played no one this year. And honestly, if I were you, I would have opted out of the playoffs entirely to keep my stock high and go get a big job when Ryan Day gets fired. But no, not so fast, my friend. You're stuck in Indiana for the foreseeable future after this.
It is such a great point by Billy that Cignetti would have been better off saying no thanks to the playoffs.
We're good. Let Alabama get in.
We're not going to be
my case.
I would honestly, if I was him, and I'm sure that this has not happened, and Indiana hates this show, and I apologize for that and anything that anyone said on this show to piss off Indiana. However, I feel like Curt Cignetti, while teams are out there and they're, petitioning, oh, we deserve to get in. We're a bubble team. We get in. Look at our strength of schedule. Look at our this and that. Like all the teams that were fighting to get in. I feel like privately, Curt Cignetti should have been going around to like the members of the committee, like, we're good. Leave us out. It's fine. Don't put us in. It's fine. Trust me. Like, I'll get you back for this one. And they're like, no, you're in. Curry's like, no. We don't want to be in. Like,
what do you mean? I'll get you back for this one.
I'll pay you back down the road. Yeah,
I'll pay you back down
That's
the
how
line.
it works. That's how favors work. You know what I mean? Like, hey, do me a solid. Don't put us in. Like, please, just don't do it. Don't do it to us, and I'll pay you back down the road.
The other worst thing that happened to Cignetti is that the hiring cycle didn't start before the playoffs. He might have been able to get out and get an LSU job or something before it started. Now
he's there.
Sorry, Indiana.
You're in Indiana. You're in Indiana.
And we'll be saying for years, do it in the playoffs.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I hope you didn't have a short-term rental because you're going to be needing to find a longer-term place to live there, friend.
So that is
like the idea of Cignetti having a short-term lease because he's not sure about like his professional job situation. Yeah, he's staying at like what are those like the hotels that you pay like monthly because it's like you're working, abroad.
Anyway. Like the Hilton Garden Inn or something.
Yeah. But one that's like designed like an A loft or whatever the hell they're called. That's like designed for work. Yeah, like a residence inn. Exactly right. Mikey.
Billy thinks Cignetti would have been better off not taking the playoff berth at all. Just saying, no thanks, I'm good. I made my case. What do you think?
I think I've never seen a coach's reputation get tanked so quickly than his did in that game. Like he went from like the college football darling. He won so many coach of the year awards. He was finalist for AP coach of the year. And then he punts on 4th and 11 in the fourth quarter, down 3 possessions in a playoff game with 10 minutes left. He punts. And then after the game, he's like, well, my offense wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, so you put your defense back out on the field? Like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, he kind of coached a scared conservative game. They fair caught every single kickoff. They didn't do anything that we haven't seen this season. And it was just a really conservative game plan against a team that everyone knew was a lot better than Indiana. And if you want to win a game like that in college football, sometimes you roll the dice a little bit, see if you can get lucky. And until the last minute and a half of the game, when they actually tried to go for an onside kick, it just felt like they had given up.
Mm-hmm. You feel validated, Billy? I mean,
I said he was my loser of the weekend.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you guys heard him go on game day and talk about like, we don't just beat top 25 teams. We beat the shit out of them. I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
Name one.
No, you don't. I don't know what happened in the post-game handshake between him and Marcus Freeman, but he looked like he kept talking and Marcus Freeman had already moved on to his interview with Molly McGrath. He was like, okay, buddy. I don't know. That was just like,
smart. I mean,
he should have done the Mac Brown and like clutched Marcus's neck and pulled him in because it just was kind of a weird handshake.
What did you think of the awkward post-game press conference where Marcus Freeman was invited to the next round?
I love it.
I accept. We accept.
It's like, can I say we accept? Yeah. So like this was at all of the first round games. The reps from the New Year's Six bowl games that are hosting the quarterfinals presented a game ball and like formally invited the head coach to their bowl games. This is such a vestige of like old college football, and everyone is ripping college football for having this sort of like ridiculous, like this is not necessary. This formality is not necessary, but I love it. I love the bowl games. I love the guys in suits that go to games all season long and scout out who they want to invite to the bowl games. I love that there was randomly a guy there who's like, do you want to come to the Sugar Bowl? And Marcus was like, yeah. I saw like a couple jokes about people that were like, Oregon should decline their invitation to the Rose Bowl and just claim the national championship. And I totally agree with that. Like if this were 2005 or I don't know, like 15 years ago, they could have just been like, well, we went undefeated. We won the Big Ten. We're in the Rose Bowl. We won the national championship. Thanks. We're all done here. Just claim it. Who cares?
What if they decline their invitation to the Rose Bowl, and then the other bowls are like, well, hold on a second, Sugar Bowl, we want him now. Like we want Oregon, and then they all start scrambling to grab the team that they
that
actually
would be
want.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also, like I don't know what I'm talking about. UCF claimed a national title like 7 years ago. Like this is still a thing. People need to claim more national championships. Curt Cignetti should have just claimed one last week and not played in the bowl game. He should have opted out, because I'm with you, Billy. That was also with the fact that like a lot of the players on their team are transfers and they're not going to be around next year, and like the schedule is going to get harder. Like huge L for Curt Cignetti. And like, look, it brings me no joy to say this. He's a Yinzer. He's got Yinzers on his staff. Tino Sunseri is their offensive coordinator. Okay, this is like, we're multiple Yinzers deep on the scout here for Indiana. But man, it was brutal.
We're ready to go back to 4 teams, Jess. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think like the biggest issue right now is, why are the 4 highest ranked conference champions the 4 bye teams? Maybe things would have been bigger if you just ranked it outright. The top 4 teams get a bye.
yes.
They're going to expand it to 14 in 2016 and then do
More?
2 byes. Yes. But I don't know. I mean, I think for as much, bad football as there was this weekend, for lack of a better term, like the 4 home sites brought it. I thought like even like the first 2 minutes of the Penn State game, when it was like, oh, this is fun. Like it was cool to see college football postseason games on campus. And I hope that that's the bigger takeaway this weekend. Like, sure, the matchups could have been better. Texas Clemson actually was like almost a pretty good game, but the home sites I thought was pretty awesome. And that was all along, I think, what sold it for a lot of people when they expanded it to 12.